Alright, real quick, Fabricio Werdum is the new UFC heavyweight champion, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on that, and just a quick thing what pops into my head when I'm watching this and how I feel about it. First of all, well, I won't say thank God, but yeah, thank God. Fabricio Werdum won this fight. What does this mean? The first thing that comes to mind is, guess what? Guess what? Fedor is still by far the greatest heavyweight of all time. Because people were like, oh, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time, but what about Cain Velasquez coming up? Cain Velasquez keeps on with his terror. Then Cain loses to Dos Santos, then he comes back and wins. And like, okay, well, yeah, but now he's lost again, and he looked terrible. Cain hasn't really had that many fights. Guess what? This loss here, that's it. Fedor, by far, never lost in pride, and is still the greatest heavyweight of all time. And if anybody wants to top that, that's a heavyweight, they sure got their work cut out for them to top what Fedor did. Now, that being said, Ben Rothwell, boy, was this guy right. You know, talking about all the extreme, heavy PED testing that's taking place now, and the penalties for failing. You know, saying that you could lose a couple years of fighting, which means no pay for a couple years, in which if you're older could end your career. That's what Ben Rothwell said. And rigorous drug testing. You know, Cain Velasquez, I knew he was going to be rusty. I talked on that in my video that I had made before the fight, that Cain could possibly be rusty, and that Werdum's confidence is sky high. So Ben Rothwell, when he was talking to Ariel Helwani, Ariel said, "You don't think he's gonna look the same?" You know, because of, you know, the drug testing and all this. And Ben Rothwell's words were, "I highly doubt it," or he said, "I doubt it," like that. And guess what? Ben Rothwell was right. He was absolutely right. We know what's going on here. You know, they talk about the elevation level, but guys, that doesn't look it. What people are failing to understand about the elevation level is that they're both at the same elevation. Okay? You got two guys at sea level. The one that's not in shape is going to start to gas first. The guy that's in better shape will last longer. You raise them up, go to Denver. The same two guys, the one that's not in shape is going to start to tire out first. Yeah, maybe he tired out in the second round. He would have tired out in the third or fourth round. That could be. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe he couldn't go as hard. But guess what? He wasn't as good a shape. So stop talking about the elevation. You know where the fight's going to be. You know about the elevation. And what it really comes down to is the guy was not in shape. Cain Velasquez looked pudgy. He had no muscle on him at all. He looked terrible. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, for whatever reason, injury, whatever. I mean, do these guys not know what the weight room looks like? Look at, I'm 37 years old, man. Come on, get in the weight room. These guys, they're heavyweights. They don't got to worry about, you know, it's not like they got to try and stay thin like Nick Diaz to make weight or something like that. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Cain looked terrible. I mean, he really did. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, this is Fabricio Werdum in stand-up. Now, I don't have anything against Fabricio's stand-up. He's gotten a lot better. But I mean, what would he have done if he was against? I mean, what would Ben Rothwell would have knocked Cain out? The guy was moving like a clown. So, you know, anyway, all I'm saying is those are my thoughts on this, and thank God that he lost. And if this guy, at the pace that he used to run at, I mean, unless he was hurt so bad that he just sat around and ate Cheetos and watched TV. I mean, didn't exercise at all. I mean, you know, I don't know. Was it the PEDs? Was it this? It's probably a combination of everything, but guess what? Ben Rothwell was right. He was right. And this makes the UFC heavyweight division a lot more exciting. It really, really does. And another thing I was thinking, which I shouldn't even really maybe talk about, but I can't help, this is what I'm thinking. It's like, I'm thinking, man, Fedor could beat either of these guys. Where is Fedor? Is he too old now? Maybe. But, I mean, I would like to see Fedor come back to the UFC. I'm just saying, come back for one fight. Give him somebody that's, maybe ranked in the top 10. If he wins 2-3 fights, which he's probably going to, especially with this drug testing. I mean, we know how skilled Fedor is. I've seen videos of him. He's still in really good shape. I think he could beat these guys. I think Fedor could come back and beat these guys. And I think he could beat Werdum. Whoever Werdum fights next, there's a good chance Verdum's going to win again. I mean, there really is. And if these guys really are off, if it really are getting drug tested rigorously, hey, I say Fedor, come back. And let's really make this exciting. I mean, if Fedor loses one fight when he comes back, nobody's going to look at him any differently. But that being said, he has absolutely nothing to prove, especially with these losses from Cain Velasquez and just the Anderson Silva, getting busted for the steroids and all. And I mean, not only is he the greatest heavyweight of all time, he's going to be arguably, but it's going to be a tough argument to make against him as being the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, and that's pretty amazing. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. And but let me say this: Fabricio Werdum, this guy got hardcore, man. He showed up. If you don't know, he showed up into Mexico at that high elevation 40 days. 40 days. They said he was doing some type of workout almost every day, doing some cardio and conditioning himself. So it's no coincidence that he looked this good. And hey, maybe he was listening to Ben Rothwell, and Ben Rothwell says Cain can't run the pace that he used to run with all this drug testing. Maybe Fabricio said, guess what? I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way and work my butt off. And this guy's been hard at work, and just amazing, just amazing. He is the champion, and he deserves it. He really deserves it. I do not want to see a Cain Velasquez Fabricio Werdum rematch. You guys know I can't stand rematches at any time, and I definitely don't like them back to back. Maybe 8 years apart when guys are in completely different stages in their careers, I could see it then. But even then, I don't like rematches. I've said that before. You guys know that. I'll talk to you guys later.